Hi, everyone. This is Phil Yaeger, and I'm here with Ron Primoroso, and we are the group you get when you listen to anything on CPA Review. And we want to announce, first of all, that we're going to have a weekly Q&A live session, which will begin on June 11th, all right? And it will be Fridays, and it'll also be recorded, and it'll be put on our website as a podcast or we'll put it on YouTube, but it'll be on there. All right. Now, the first session has not been determined yet, but we're going to be talking mainly about CPA Review. The podcast, the Yaeger CPA Review podcast, has been called CPA Review and More. And more means we've had other guests from different areas, such as we had someone talk about how do you set up to be an accountant, CPA doing cannabis. All right. And by the way, that was quite popular. And anyway, so we're going to have the old days, live radio. Okay. But it's not radio, it's a podcast. And let me just say, I apologize for not shaving today, but Ron and I have been busy, all right, getting our books ready for sale. All right. In fact, we're going to announce a pre-sale next week. Please look for it on our website. All right. Please look for it. You can always call our office if you have any questions at 301-874-4900. And I'm at extension 5. And when I'm not answering it, Sonny's answering it. But Sonny, you're off on a golf trip, are you not? Yes, he is. I forgot. He can't hear me. All right. Sonny plays golf. You know, I basically I'm into, what am I into, Ron? I'm trying to think of the Pinochle, yeah.
Bridge.
Oh, badminton. I am great at badminton, I have to tell you.
Bridge.
All right. So anyway, all right, on Friday, this Friday, which is June 4th, all right, we're going to also do a live podcast, but it'll be recorded. And the key thing is it's very important because we're going to talk about the changes basically on all 4 parts of the exam, but the biggest changes have been in what area, Ron?
Auditing and BEC, Phil, by far. Okay, the most changes. And by the way, that means additions to the exam. Okay, not deletions.
And how many new blueprints did they actually add approximately, on BEC, would you say?
On both auditing and BEC, it's around 15 to 18 new blueprints. And I would say another 5 to 10 of the old blueprints were slightly amended, okay, to bring them into the current period of time, okay, technology and business-wise.
And these new blueprints will be effective July 1st of 2021, right?
Yes.
All right. And let me tell you about the AICPA Examination Division. When they say July 1st, it'll be there on July 1st. All right. But prior to July 1st, everything is the same as it is right now. All right. So, I would recommend, because the BEC is going to be harder. I would say try to get that BEC in before the end of this month of June. All right. And I say the same thing with the auditing. Okay. So please remember, the blueprints are so important. Our competitors make the blueprints like they're sort of there. Well, let's not talk about them. And the reason they don't want to talk about them is because they don't integrate those blueprints in their books. All right. I can tell you, Ron and I have been spending hours and hours. All right. We first went through the old blueprints, first the new ones, and we had to determine the changes. All right. And there are definite changes. Now, I did watch a webinar, another one of our competitors with the AICPA. All right. And like you was talking about the change in financial accounting. All right. They listed down that IFRS is changing. All right. If you really look at what the AICPA has on AICPA.org, it's more than just IFRS. And you have to know the detail. All right. For example, on regulation, they're getting rid of estates and trusts. But there's a fine line there. And there's one thing you still have to know in estates. And I'll tell you what those are. All right. On Friday. Very important. And Ron, who is the foremost expert on BEC, All right. How did you get that title, Ron?
I think you gave it to me, Phil.
I did it. All right.
Yes.
All right. In fact, he is we call him the FME, foremost expert. Okay. All right. For those, Ron, by the way, we've been doing virtual CPA review classes ever since the pandemic. And we have always been there to help the student. And I can promise you this, and Ron would also say the same thing. All right. Our material is always fresh. All right. We don't have anything in there. I shouldn't say anything. There's always a chance something did not get removed. But I would say 99% chance our books are fresh. It contains everything new. And the blueprints are very important. That's what they test on. And you say, what the heck is a blueprint? Well, prior to the days of global positioning systems, where you just say to the car, hey, I want directions to Orlando, Florida. No problem. It'll tell you how to get there. All right. But when I was younger, and I'd say probably as good looking as I am today, and Ron, the same thing too, we actually would stop by gasoline stations or AAA, and they would give us maps. And I mean, I really followed maps to get to certain places, especially if I haven't been there before. All right. Now, what has the AICPA done? They say, hey, what do you want to reach? You want to reach that CPA designation. All right. And what we're going to do to help you and give you the map, all right, to get there is called the blueprints. They are the probably most important thing on that exam. Okay. Because it's like going to a baseball game. All right. Well, you don't have a roster of who's playing that day. All right. What are you going to say? That's so-and-so. All right. That's why I remember I used to buy these programs. They'll tell me number 6 was this person. That's what you're doing here. But the AICPA doesn't charge for the blueprints. All right. If you have one of those brand X type courses that don't integrate the blueprints, go to aicpa.org. All right. And check out, you want to look at the blueprints, especially when you're starting with July 1st, effective July 1st, 2021. You can print them. You have them on every. Now, the blueprints don't give you the detail of what the task is. That's what we do in our books. And Ron, anything else you want to say? I know we'll talk more about this during the podcast, but what advice could you give someone? If you were to.
Well, right now, Phil, if you, for example, just scored in the 70s, right, low 70s in BEC or auditing, you should take it again if you can get a seat prior to June 30th. Why not, Phil? So you don't have to deal with the blueprint changes coming up on July 1. Okay, so you shouldn't give up if you're in the low 70s, even in the high 60s, Phil, right? But in the next couple of weeks, study and try and pass BEC and or auditing before July 1.
And if they say Prometrics that there are no spaces available, all right, you keep calling them every day, all right? Yeah. Because there's always cancellations. There really are.
And also be geographically flexible, right, Phil? I mean, now you can travel. It's easier to travel now than during the pandemic. So you may have to drive a little bit, but you may find that would be a very good decision, especially if you pass, right, in the interim.
Yeah, and, if you had the vaccine, you should be fine, all right? Yep. Hey, yep. Make it a vacation.
Yep,
all right? Exactly. Call it like our podcast, CPA review and more. The more's vacation, by the way. All right. So anyway, please look for us. Check the Yaeger Cpa review website, and please use the resources on the website. There are plenty of them. We'll also talk about them on next Friday. So anyway, Ron, thank you very much. And Ron, tell them where you live. Make them jealous.
Missoula, Montana, where today it is, I think, 81 degrees and the relative humidity is 20%. It's just gorgeous, Phil. Blue skies.
It has been humid here.
Yeah. Well,
and the pollen has been terrible.
Here comes the summer. Yep, that's normal.
Yeah. So. Well, no, it's beautiful country. Beautiful country out there.
Yes.
All right, Ron, I will see you at the end of the week, and we will do our first live podcast. All right, to be recorded in case you miss it. And we wish you all best of luck with your studying. And remember, if you're taking the exam before July 1st, you only have about a month to study. All right, use the time, you know, use it and, set up a schedule. All right. Use your time effectively. Okay. All right. Thanks, Ron. Take care. And we'll see you again.
Everybody Friday. Take care.
Bye.